Hello, guys. Welcome to Thanks Out. This is your host, Frank the Vamp, and we're continuing reviewing, the Friday the 13th franchise. And let me tell you, this is the last video. This is a two for one. There's only two movies left, and let me tell you, it's been really hard to decide. Because everybody knows the final chapter was really tough, and it almost tops everybody's list. But I mean, in reality, there are a couple of films that I enjoy better. I mean, they doesn't necessarily mean they are better. It's the ones that I enjoy better. So that's a disclaimer. Okay. However, I do think that there is a reason why these two films belong here. So basically, we have two films. We have Baghead Jason against Zombie Jason. So we have two very different Jasons here, and it's been really hard, guys. And maybe the ending will be controversial, but I gotta pick as number two Baghead Jason. Friday the 13th Part Two gets the number two spot. And let me tell you, this film is great. I mean, it's gonna be hard to praise this film more than it's been already praised. I will include that. I also made a full video out of part two, so I would include it in the description if you guys want to take a look at it. Friday the 13th, part two, wanted to be gorier, wanted to be cooler, wanted to be awesomer, and in many ways than the original. In many ways, he was. I mean, let's begin with Baghead Jason. Oh my gosh, man, what we first see of Jason, it's this little deformed zombie child, sort of like we don't even know, that comes out of the water and gets the girl, and turns out it was all a dream, right? Or or was it, type of thing, in that Tom Savini's imagination of that to put that in there, on part one, to include that little Ted ending. It opened the opportunity to have Jason to follow as Mrs. Voorhees son, avenging her 5 years later, and it's amazing that Jason, whatever explanation you see how he survived, he is terrifying. The Baghead, I mean, really, hiding his deformities, makes him very human, the most human he's ever been in the Friday the 13th series. The kills are brutal. They're amazing. They're, kudos to also, the creepiness. The overall creepiness is, to me, the scariest Friday the 13th. It's also, kudos to Jeannie being the awesome last girl, and she actually tricks Jason into thinking, oh, that's a mom, putting the sweater. That was quickly dispelled by him watching the head of his mom right there. But pretty clever girl, and very intelligent, and shows it in many ways in the in the movie. Did John survive and all that stuff? There's just so much little tiny things that make Friday the 13th Part 2 special. And even though everybody loves the iconic Jason mask better, the hockey mask, right? There is something very creepy and special about the Baghead. So that's number two. Number one, of course, is Friday the 13th Part 6. So Jason lives, and boy does he. Zombie Jason, it's by far the most fun Friday the 13th movie. And to be honest, Friday the 13th Part 4 has the better plot, the better structure. However, it's, part six is just more enjoyable. I just want to give you that reason. It's way more enjoyable than any of the other parts I see. I will watch that 10 times, over any of the other ones. That's because it's so cool. I mean, it's the Frankenstein monster. He gets revived. It's Dracula. Very. You could see Tommy as Van Helsing there. Getting ready to stake Dracula, and something goes wrong, and instead of finishing up Dracula revives. The same thing happens to Jason. Stabs Jason with the steel thing, rather than finishing it off. He gets struck by lightning and becomes zombie Jason. The best brutal kills, even though there's no nudity in this film. The director wanted to make it something special, and it is the only Friday the 13th to this day that has no nudity. Yeah, I guess those could take some points off, but hey, there are other ways to watch nudity on films, guys. I don't necessarily watch a Friday the 13th, movie for the boobs. I watch it for the kills. Yeah. So. But yeah, there's some boobs on pretty much every movie except this one. So fun tidbit. There is a sex scene, but it's fully clothed and quite ridiculous. It doesn't want to make you have sex. It just wants to make you giggle and laugh. And yeah, I mean, the kids in peril. Oh my God! Every time you put children in peril, and Jason is about to kill them. Oh my God, he's so creepy. But I mean, the director was so clever that he actually did not harm any kids, which was awesome, because that will bring Jason to another level. One thing that Nightmare on Elm Street dudes couldn't figure it out in the remake, that there's a creepy level to your franchise killers that you just cannot choose, and they walk the makers of this film walk the tightrope excellently, and it's beautiful. I mean, I love the cop Jason fight, shooting it with a shotgun. I mean, it is so. I mean, it's the vampire killing, trying to kill the vampire, and of course the showdown at the end. Van Helsing against Dracula, right? I mean, and the fact that you can't really kill him, you can only contain him. It's unbelievable. It's just Friday the 13th Part 6. It's gimmicky. The story, I mean about Tommy. Because there's this thing where Tommy was supposed to be the killer of, and that's going to be the flow. That was hinted on starting on Part 4. It followed that type of ideology on Part 5, but then it kind of totally went away from it on Part 6 and went back to Tommy's. Tommy's traumatized so much that he needs to completely see Jason reduced to ashes, so much that he digs up his maggot-infested body out of the ground to finish him off, and he's so messed up in the head. And every bit, I enjoyed this film 100%. Yes, I would admit it. This is not the best film, not the best plot, not the best acting. However, to me, it's the most fun Friday the 13th. Period. There's no other one, and that's why I watch Friday the 13th. I watch it for the kills. I watch it for the bad acting. I watch it for the unreasonable, stupid plots. But, ever since my childhood, I grew up with Jason Voorhees. And Jason, thank you so much for the entertainment. CJ Graham, at 6'3", 250 pounds, the perfect Jason. Sorry, Derek Mears. Sorry, all the other Jasons. He is the best Jason to me. And that's what else I can say, other than stay tuned, because I'm continue with the much harder to grade Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they're all good except for that shitty part, 3D shit that we got. I hope Leatherface doesn't turn out to be that bad. But whoa, what's new for the Jason universe? There is one new movie that's been postponed like 8 times now, so we don't know if we. I guess we're gonna get it someday, but I'm not quite sure when. But if we does, we can only hope that Jason will continue the body count. See you soon.